So I'm here with Zachary Bauer, freelance RPG designer and writer, and Sonia, author and RPG designer. I This is table for two, by the way, and we're interviewing them to find out a little bit more about their game, Bloodline, and tell me the game.
It's Bloodlines and Black Magic. It's a
Sorry.
supernatural modern tabletop role-playing game. Yep. Bloodlines and Black Magic, it takes that and puts it into a human space where you don't have elves or dwarves, you have humans, but they have different bloodlines. So they have similar powers. So you have a fey-blooded human who might present similarly to like an elf would, or in terms of what they can do mechanically, but they're still just a normal human on the outside. So it allows people to kind of get some of those fantasy elements but play with them in a modern setting, in a modern world. In our case, in 2024, in the setting. But yeah,
Okay. And who designed or who came up with this theory to make this game?
I'm the culprit. It was my crazy idea. I
You
just
did
wrote
say
Zach in.
you did say you were a writer. Is that kind of how
Yes,
this
ma'am.
came about, writing something? So is there like a story book that you wrote too that's connected to
I've
this?
actually written a couple of other books previous to this. So
Uh-huh.
Bloodlines was a bit of a passion project that I started with a friend of mine, Clinton Boomer. He's the author of a book called The Hole Behind Midnight. And because I was a big fan of modern supernatural and horror elements in general, I wanted to kind of play in that space. And I'd previously written a book called Rune Dawn of Twilight for the Pathfinder role-playing game. It was a very specific setting back in 2014. I also co-wrote and worked on the World of Alessia with my Finnish business partner. It's a Finnish kind of supernatural sci-fi setting. And I've done a lot of short fiction, but I don't have any full fiction books out, unfortunately, yet.
Okay.
Maybe.
Um, so I want to hear from Zach real quick, just about how did you get roped into this?
Yeah, so I kind of stumbled into it back, oh Jay, I don't remember when we did this, but Jay and Ben McFarland were running something called RPG Boot Camp.
Design
I think it
camp.
was, what was it?
It was RPG design
Oh,
camp, and we
Design
ran
Camp.
that
Yeah.
from 2014 to 2016, if I recall
Okay.
right.
So yeah, so I stumbled across this and was like, oh, I want to like I love playing D&D, but I want to learn more about like writing and actually get some training and work with these people that are in the industry. And so I signed up to do the design camp and learned a lot through that and just kind of like hung around. I just, I kept talking to Jay and Ben and just like helping out. There was things they were working on. So I was like, oh, hey, like, can I help edit that? Can I help like, give you some ideas? And I just kind of hung around long enough that I started to meet, other people and get more connected to what Jay was working on, and got to play Bloodlines and Black Magic with him at a convention, and just fell in love with it. Like I love the artwork, that pulled me in real quick, but also just
Thank you.
the mechanics and the world, the lore is so rich and deep that it just pulled me in. So I just kind of like clung on ever since, and just kind of been along with Jay. I'm just thankful I get to work on this passion project with him. It's been great.
What, Zachary, do you are you one of the artists?
No, I'm not. Like the art drew it to me, but no, I wish I could draw that well.
So you're contributing in the storyline.
Yeah, some of the story for writing and also a lot of the mechanics.
Tell
He's
me about
he's
the
worked with.
mechanics.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. That's okay,
No,
Jay,
no, no.
but tell
I'm
me
sorry.
what is mechanics in this kind of game? I'm
So
not
so
clear.
yeah, so that whole, it goes back to that whole like role playing game, like tabletop game. Because a lot of it, the role playing is a lot of the storytelling, and so Jay's got a lot of that, the story and the lore of the world. I've been helping out with the mechanical aspects that are more like the board game part, because you have those rules of when you want to do this, like what dice do you roll, like what happens when you succeed or when you fail.
Oh,
Trying to kind of balance. There's a lot of numbers and math that go into it, and trying to figure out like how do we balance that to make it fair but challenging. So
yeah.
that's one of the things I kind of specialize in.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to play this game, is it a game that you buy at a game store or you go somewhere to get the rules or something?
Well, currently you can buy it print on demand. You can buy the PDF through our website or through like drive-through and such. Drive-through also has a print on demand option. But we're still struggling to get it into distribution. We just finished the book getting it. We went through several editing passes and proof passes with our printer to make sure we were getting just the right book, like fixing all the little editing errors, making sure the color and the contrast is right on the print. So we're just now, because of the world and how fun it's been lately. We've been struggling to like get ahead and move things into it. In fact, I was literally waiting on a proof copy to arrive, which arrived today. And if we have a moment,
Wow.
I'll open it during the interview. But I have two more of these waiting, and as soon as those get proved, or the proofs are approved, I then move it through into our primary printer, and then we start moving into wider distribution. So my hope is by the end of February, maybe sooner, people will be able to go to places like Amazon and pick it up, and then we'll start selling into
Oh.
direct distribution. We've just Small publishers, like a lot of small businesses in America right now, are dealing with a high number of disruptions. I don't think I'm the first person to point to this. And until things start to change in a positive and constructive pro-American route, and I don't mean in a, tell
You're not
Americans
trying
to
to
put
talk
on.
politics right now,
No,
right?
man. Well, I mean, this game is inherently political, but it's a very, I don't think anybody can write tabletop and not be somewhat political, but
Mhm.
I don't want to alienate people because I'm a very collectively minded person and I want everybody at the table. I'm a big supporter of diversity. I'm a big supporter of making sure the table is a good space for everyone. So,
Okay.
got to do
Hey,
things right.
I got a
Sorry.
suggestion, Jay. Why don't you
Yes, ma'am.
open that now?
I can. I'm not making any
Yeah.
promises, but I'll open it.
Open,
I did
open.
save it. All right, all right. So watch it be a completely different book. Who knows? Like, hey, everybody see this new book of Bloodlines? It's like, oh, I forgot I ordered that. My bad, y'all.
Uh,
Hopefully that no, it is not the case. Now, the here it is. So it is a soft cover version of
oh,
Bloodlines, and I just need to know
gorgeous.
it is the normal version and it's not the premium. So that means the premium will probably arrive on Monday. I needed to order an extra matte copy. And the fun thing about this book is here, I'll hold it up so it's easier to see. So the
Thank you.
premium version that we've got coming in has a nice heavier 110-pound like glossy paper. So it's very almost
Okay.
like a textbook. But the original standard version has matte paper and like a lower weight. I think it's like 70 or 80 pound, but it's perfect to color. So if you're a person who likes colored pencils, because we did the art in a hybrid black and white slash color model, and we include all this black and white, I actually go like and take it to places and I will literally sit at a table and color in the black and white to bring it around to full color, but I get to change it every time I do. So I'm
Wow.
I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, this is the book.
Okay, so this has what the characters are, where the places are, so someone who wants to run the game with their group would need the book, but everybody might not. Is that how
Correct.
the
Like
case?
you could have one book at the table and everybody could make their characters out of that. And in fact, we're actively working on making more resources and making more free resources so people can onboard. We have a quick start guide that we designed back in 2000 or 2022. And we're in the process of updating that. So that's going to get released hopefully here next week. That'll have a series of 7 like pre-generated characters in the back. It'll have a small scenario. It'll be about 40 or so pages. And then people can just download that for free, look at characters, and then if they pick up the book, they've got more than what they need to play. So yeah. And then Zach also
Oh,
has a adventure out called A Bad Night for a Hunt that he wrote, and you may have played through. Did you
wow.
did you play when you were out at the con here a couple weekends ago? Is
No, it actually
okay.
wasn't me that
Okay.
was there. Yeah, it was the founders of Table for Two that were there and met Zachary. Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't called you Zach once. That
That's okay.
so are you guys still working together even though the game is complete? Like what do you still have left to do with each other?
Oh. The game is I'd love to say the game is
It's
complete.
never complete, huh?
The book is done. We had to reduce the size of the book. The original manuscript that I wrote and put together was about 525 pages. Because of costs and the economy and what printing costs, we actually went through a series of reductions. Like we had to bring the book down from 525 to 472 pages, from 472 down to 418. And then when we finally got ready to release that 418 page book, print prices went up again and again. And because we're a small studio and we're slower to respond to the world, because, it's me, my business partner, and freelancers that we hire, people like Zach, it takes us a lot longer to get down the road with those projects. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say the book is done. Thankfully, the primary book is done, but we still have a game master guide that we want to release that includes a whole bunch of lore, a whole bunch of monster stuff, a whole bunch of information. Our lore document right now is without any art, without anything else. If I were just to say, hey, audience, here's what our lore document looks like, it's over 50 pages long of just straight, you could read it
Wow.
just like fiction. So the game is not going to be done anytime soon. I see the world growing, with
Yeah.
support, help, and people like Zach, hopefully for the next decade or so.
Yeah,
So
we're
what is
we're
that?
actively
Go-
sorry, we're actively, still developing. We've got, multiple adventure arcs of adventures that people can play through and lots of ideas for additional, content and mechanics. Like so this is a game that's being actively developed,
Right.
and is going to continue to be, it's alive.
It sounds
Yes.
like an actual world, right? It
Yes,
doesn't
ma'am.
end and
Yes,
it
ma'am.
continues and it is expands and you explore on
Yep.
more things. How exciting. Okay. Because I was really wondering what it's like to be you guys. Like, where does it end? How do you decide, okay, we're going to print this many pages?
Like we talk about, the finances and the return, but when you do design work, when you're a creative, and this isn't just me, this is, I think, true of all creatives, you put a lot of your time into development, and time is always money. And so even if it's setting up a slideshow for an interview, all of that passion, all of that investment, all of that time that we put into these things, that is very, very valuable. And as we all get older, we understand implicitly how much that time matters. So yeah, it's a lot to invest.
So if somebody wants to find your game, it is out there somewhere. I mean, to play,
Absolutely.
even though the book
Absolutely.
just got printed.
Oh, Patreon, absolutely. That's where I do a lot of my proof of concept writing. So, like, if I do stats for an NPC, or if I want to talk about something that I'm really excited about, that I'm thinking about developing, I'll go over to Patreon first. I'll talk to my fans there and say, hey, what are we developing? Or what do you want to see us develop for the game? And so it gives like supporters an intimate, like right there in the front seat, back seat kind of approach. Like you're not necessarily right there with me, but I do a lot of polls. We do a lot of
Yeah.
feedback. We solicit a lot of feedback from the patrons so that we're making sure we're giving them something they can use at their table. Otherwise, it's just me spinning my wheels going, look what I made this week. And that's fun for me, but it needs to be fun for everybody. And if you're putting money on the table for it, it also as a game master or a create, for a fan, it needs to be useful for you as well.
Okay. Okay. I want to share with everyone that we are table for two. We're strangers like we used to be, become friends and turn into family. And if you want to join our board game community, go to tabletop or table for two games. And this is how you reach Jaye and Zachary at all of their social medias. Thank you all